Okay, this question says use the quadratic formula. Now the quadratic formula is given to me over here. Okay, I can create it from that song. And here is our quadratic equation. Is this a quadratic equation, class?
Yes.
How do I know it's quadratic?
There's a square.
A square, okay? If it didn't have a square, it might be linear. Now, what do I need to do to this before I put it in the quadratic formula?
Make it equal 0.
That's correct. So my minus 18, my constant term's on the right-hand side. I need to get it to the left-hand side. What am I going to do to get it to the left-hand side?
Add 18 to both sides.
That's right. I will do plus 18 to the left side, and I will do plus 18 to the right side. Now the right side, negative 18 plus 18 will cancel out and give me a 0. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to have 6x squared plus 22x plus 18. All right, the 18 did not combine with either of the other terms, so there it is. Now, it is in order. It is equal to 0, smiley face. And all I need to do is pick out my A, my B, and my C, and I can plug them in. What is the A for this quadratic equation?
6.
6. Okay, the coefficient of my first term is the A. What's the B?
22.
22, positive 22. And what is the C?
Positive 18.
Positive 18. And I'm going to take these, and I'm really just going to take them, and I'm going to plug them in. I'll plug in my A here, and I'll plug in my A here. I'll plug in my B here, and I'll plug in my B here. And then I'll plug in my C right there. Now, what do I always use when I go to plug in?
Parentheses.
That's right. X equals. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we'll just plug them in. So first one, opposite of B. B is 22. Plus or minus the square root of B squared. B is 22 again. Minus 4 times A times C. A goes right here, which is 6. And C goes right here, which is 18. All over 2A, which is 6, goes down here. All right, if you color code it, might also be very helpful. And now we get our calculator and we just start putting these numbers together, okay? We don't need any algebra steps to solve it. I have the minus 22 in the front, plus or minus the square root of 22 squared. What's 22 squared?
484.
484. Minus 4 times 6 times 18.
432.
432. All over 2 times 6.
12.
12. All right, our next step is going to be still working under that radical. 484 minus 432. I know my calculator will be able to do that. So minus 22 plus or minus 484 minus 432 is the square root of 52. All over 12. Okay, and I could be finished at this point, but I need to look and see if I can simplify the radical. Do I know the square root of 52? I do not. Let's think about our squares and see if any of our squares go into 52. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. Do any of these numbers go into 52?
No. No.
Do any of these numbers divide evenly into 52? The answer's 4. Yes, 4 does. How many times? 52 divided by 4?
13.
What is it?
13.
13. Okay. Let me copy this. Let me move it up here. Give myself some more space. Actually, let me shrink all of this to give myself some more space. Okay. All right. So let me move this up here. X equals negative 22 plus or minus. Now the square root of 52 is the square root of 4 times the square root of what?
13.
13. And the reason I did that is because I know the square root of 4. It's in my list over here on the right. All right, so another step to do that. I know the square root of 4 is 2. So I have negative 22 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2. That's my new step right there. Square root of 13 all over 12. Now, I could be done now, but if you look at the two numbers, 22 and 2, all over 12, you'll realize that those will reduce. So I'm going to split this up into 2 fractions so I can reduce completely. X equals negative 22 over 12 plus or minus 2 square root of 13 over 12. The first fraction, 22 over 12, is going to reduce. Okay, 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 22 11 times, 2 goes into 12 6 times. Second fraction is also going to reduce. 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 12 6 times. So here is my final and simplified answer. Negative 11 over 6 plus or minus square root of 13 over 6. You can leave it as 2 fractions. Because they have the same denominator, you can put them together as 1 fraction.